Hey everybody, it's Mike Collins with REIWired.com. How are you? Hey, I've been waiting a while for this one. This is exciting. The world is being taken over by social media. If you've read any newspaper, or if you're online at all, you know that the Facebooks of the world and the Twitters of the world, that social media is not only changing the way we interact with our friends, family, loved one, old high school acquaintances, but it is changing business in ways that I don't think anyone, maybe the two gentlemen on the line this evening know, but very few people on the planet know how much it's changing business. But Sean and Lewis, you see their pictures right there, consulted with my company a little while ago, and we did a private webinar for my team, my web team. As a result, I hired 3 other people, and what they know as far as the social web as it relates to business, hardcore business, and I don't want to say hardcore, it doesn't deviate or destroy the beauty of social networking or the social part of it, but they get it to work for you. They get it to, just like word of mouth at a restaurant or word of mouth or brand equity in a company, they help you accentuate it, they help you grow it, they help you make it better, and they tell you nuts and bolts how everything works with your real estate career, your real estate investing career, if you're a real estate agent, or any business. Really, it can relate to any business that you're in. So I can't confess to know 1/10 of what these gentlemen know, but I can tell you it's working in my business with the help of their training from my team. So without any further ado, I want to turn it over to something that is going to blow your mind. I always like to tell people, if you're a little geeky maybe, to get out a new Word doc, or if you just want to get out a clean sheet of paper, a clean pad, get ready for an hour's worth of information that's going to blow your mind. And if this is a topic that you're interested in, I'm not kidding, that I did fall out of my chair, and I think they're going to do a few of the things right here on the screen that you're going to see in the next hour. So get ready, buckle in, and enjoy yourselves. Sean, Lewis, you there? I didn't even ask.
Yeah, we are. Thanks for the warm intro, Mike. In fact, if you want to follow us around and give us that intro, that'd be great. Well, like you said, this is going to be an action-packed hour. We've got really a ton of content. We've got about 3 hours worth of content we're going to cram into an hour. So make sure you get a pen and paper out and take notes, and just pay good attention, because we're going to talk real fast and really just try and deliver a ton of good content. And we're actually going to do some things on this webinar, ask you to take a little bit of action, and you'll get some instant results from. So be sure to stick around, and we've got some exciting stuff to go throughout this hour. So without further ado, and kind of just to give you a rundown of what we'll do, we'll go through some statistics on why using social media, and then we'll take just a few minutes and tell you a little bit about ourselves and how we got to where we are, to kind of, I guess, quantify us or qualify us as to why you should listen to us, and let you know how we got here, and kind of edify ourselves, or show us how we're credible. So, and then from there, we'll just get straight into the content and blow right through it, and we're going to go through different social networks. We're going to talk about LinkedIn. Lewis has got an awesome bit on LinkedIn he's going to share with you. We're going to talk about Twitter, Facebook, some YouTube stuff, and just a little bit more other things as well. So make sure you have a pen and paper ready, and let's just get right into it. You ready to go, Lewis?
Good.
Awesome. Okay, and first we'll talk about why social media. This is a question that we get asked a lot, and it's funny, but it seems every day more and more it becomes more relevant, so it's becoming less of a question. But we pulled some pretty impressive statistics we wanted to share with you to kind of open your eyes a little bit and show you kind of where it's going. Number one, this year, Generation Y has already actually outnumbered baby boomers from a population standpoint, and 96% of them belong to a social network. So I don't know what, that's a pretty impressive statistics there if you think about it. Number two, this one really blew me away, but it's pretty funny. Social media has overtaken porn as the #1 activity on the web. It didn't blow me away that social media has, but it blew me away that porn was actually the #1 activity on the web. So anyway, number three, if Facebook were a country, it would be the world's 3rd largest. China and India, if you put that in the tense of a population, it's China and India are the only countries that would be bigger. And we've actually had to change that a couple times just in the last couple months from the fourth and the fifth. That's how fast Facebook is growing. Number 4, the fastest growing segment on Facebook is your mom. It's 55 to 65-year-old females, and that's just, there's a lot of opportunity there on Facebook for different segments and niches there, but that blew me away. Lewis and I used to joke with each other that your mom's on Facebook, and I'm chatting with your mom on Facebook, and but the reality is literally, mine is now, and so is yours, and so are a lot of people, and it's because it's a great tool for everybody. Number 5, the percentage of companies that are using social media in the hiring assessment is now 80%. And by the way, these numbers, just about every number that we go over here seems to grow every time we do the research on it. But 95% of those companies use LinkedIn as a primary tool to find employees. So this is really, really, Lewis is going to do some cool stuff to show you kind of how to get in front of that. If you're interested in the job or consulting, there's some huge opportunities with LinkedIn, and we'll share with you a little bit of how you can put yourself in front of that moving train. Number 6, 80% of Twitter usage is outside of Twitter. So this is pretty impressive. People are using mobile phones, they're using smartphones, iPhones, and all kinds of different applications to update Twitter. So there's a lot of implications that can have from a customer service standpoint, good or bad, because people have the ability just to update it in real time. Number 7, there's now over 200 million blogs. We're going to talk a little bit about blogging later in the webinar, but that's a pretty impressive statistic to think that a weblog or a blog is not that old, and 10 years ago I don't think there was 20,000. So it's pretty fast, and it's a pretty amazing tool for real estate investors to use, and I'll share with you kind of how I used it, and we turned it into a really killer business tool. Number 8, 25% of the search results of the world's top 20 largest brands are links to user-generated content. So this is really just relevant in the sense that users are now dictating a lot of the content out there, and people would rather read someone's opinion or thoughts on things than what a company has to say about themselves or an advertisement. So that's pretty impressive. Number 9, 90% of consumers trust peer recommendations. So there's a much lower percentage of trust from advertisements. So what this basically means is, if someone says something good about you, people will trust you more than you running an advertisement for your services, or if someone gives you a testimonial. And there's some great ways you can use social media to increase the likelihood of that happening and really kind of build a fan base around yourself, if you will. So number 10, the number 2 largest search engine in the world is now YouTube. I single-handedly used YouTube in my real estate company to drive us to the top of Google and YouTube results for just about every term for people in my city when we owned. Well, I'll share all that with you, but it was an amazing tool, and we were getting tons of traffic from it, from YouTube videos. And for real estate investors, this is an amazing tool to drive a lot of traffic and build your email list and et cetera. So without further ado, Lewis is going to kind of step in here and go over what you'll know after this hour. You ready?
Yeah, and Mike, just to let you know, I hope you are okay with the fact that you may get bombarded by emails and phone calls and all sorts of things from people, because it's our goal to make this the most content-packed webinar that anyone's ever been on in your network. So I hope that's okay with you, and I want people to take away 3 to 5 pages of notes and to be blown away and to literally have their jaw dropping on every other page. So if people are excited about actually learning something that they can implement now and see results in their business right now, then they're in the right place, and I want them to pay close attention to the next things we're going to say here in a few seconds. So hopefully that's okay with you, Mike.
It's okay, man. I'm ready. Bring it.
Awesome. Let's do it. Okay, so what you're going to know after this hour, how to build qualified business leads on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is, in my opinion, the most powerful business-related social networking site. We're going to show you how to maximize it on all levels. Number 2, we're going to talk about how to drive massive traffic on Twitter. A lot of the things, if you're doing anything online, it's all about getting traffic. It's all about, we're in the eyeballs game. If no one's looking at your stuff, then you're not going to sell anything. You're not going to build up your brand. You're not going to do what you want to do. So it's all about eyeballs. We're going to show you how to get that traffic for free using Twitter. How to maximize Facebook and why it's so underutilized. We've done some pretty cool Facebook ad campaigns in different niches that have been very successful. We're going to break those down exactly and show you the branding power of Facebook. How to get on the front page of Google using YouTube. Sean talked about this for a second. He gets pretty much ranked number 1 with videos for a lot of different long-tail keywords. and he's going to break that down and show you exactly how to do that. How to put your blog to work with social media, why having a blog is so necessary today. There's 200 million blogs out there right now. There are 200 million for a reason, so we're going to go into that. And also how to maximize email marketing efforts. When you have an email list, I'm sure you're aware of this, Mike, when you have an email list, it's almost like an unfair advantage because it's like you can print money on demand. So we're going to share with you guys how to really maximize using social media to build a big audience of people that follow you daily online on different social networking sites. Then when you email them, they listen to everything you say, or they read everything you say, and they pretty much buy anything you want them to buy, or take action on anything you want them to take action. So we're going to cover all of this today. So again, make sure you get out your pen and paper because it's going to be content-packed, fast-paced. I speak really fast when I talk about LinkedIn, so you're really going to need to pay attention and actually write down notes or have your profile up and implement as we go. I like action takers because those are the ones who are more the early adopters, and those are the ones that see the biggest success. So if that's what you want, if you want to get success out of this, if you actually want to learn something and make something out of this webinar, then make sure you please take action and at least take down some notes. And again, I'm Lewis Howes, I'm on the right, and Sean Malarkey is on the left. I'm going to talk briefly about myself just for about 30 seconds and try to breeze through this. Sean's going to talk about himself. Then we're going to get right into the good stuff on LinkedIn and the rest of social media. A little bit about me. I'm pretty much just your regular all-American guy from Columbus, Ohio. Used to be a professional athlete, played arena football for a year, got injured. Make a long story short, I got injured in the second game of the season, being the cocky, arrogant athlete that I was and thought that I was invincible. I decided to play the next 14 games of the season with a broken wrist and just taped it up every day with a roll and a half of tape so that I couldn't move my wrist, but I could still move my fingers and catch the ball. Little did I know that was probably the dumbest mistake, but also it's been very helpful to me in the long run as well. But I had to have surgery on my hip and my wrist after the season. They took a bone out of my hip, put it into my wrist because the bone in my wrist had crumbled so bad from me just deteriorating it over 14 games. Very wise decision to do on my part. So basically, I was out of a job. I was getting paid to play football, which was my dream my entire life. I was out of a job for 6 months. I was making like $250 a week on workman's comp or whatever they paid. Couldn't really afford anything. Opened up 3 new credit cards and lived on my sister's couch for 6 months because I didn't have a place to live after that. So it was a pretty depressing time. However, for that 6 months, I dedicated 6 to 8 hours a day instead of training and playing football to LinkedIn. And I figured out that I need to find out a way to generate income and find some business opportunities for myself. Someone introduced me to LinkedIn right after my surgery and said, you should give this a look. And I dove in pretty much 100% right then because I got really sick and tired of watching reality shows on TV and was just so bored that I needed to do something with my mind to stimulate it. So I started doing this, started speaking a lot, but really dove into LinkedIn. And just to give you kind of a bird's eye view, I've been using LinkedIn for a couple years now, I guess 2.5 years now, and this year alone have really built up a multiple six-figure business from the leads and opportunities that I've harnessed through LinkedIn. These are just some of the places I've traveled to speak at alone through different events in the sports business world, which is what I'll talk about in a second, but now also just other opportunities that I've received through LinkedIn. All over the world, from Ireland, Paris, London, Buenos Aires, and everywhere in the U.S. you can think of. But just some of the places I've been featured and some of the places Sean have been featured for our work using social media. Some of these may or may not be recognizable to you, but just to let you know some of the places we've been featured. Here's some of my projects that I work on in the last 2 years. Written a couple books about LinkedIn, created a couple other social media training courses. I've got a sports business, a membership site. I've got a networking product, a webinar product, a bunch of different products coming out. But again, this has all happened through LinkedIn. And I built close to a 40,000 person email list through LinkedIn as well. And Mike, you can probably be a testimony to saying building a 40,000 person email list for free of targeted buyers is a pretty powerful thing to do. So that's just a little bit about me. And I'm going to have Sean talk a little bit on himself, and then we're going to get right into some amazing stuff.
Good stuff, Lewis. My name is Sean Malarkey, and basically for 10 out of the last 12 years, I was a full-time real estate investor. About 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, I started a company with a couple other guys, and we ended up in a 4-year run buying and selling somewhere in the ballpark of about 150 homes. These weren't options or contracts. These were full purchases. We'd rehab them and sell them retail or to other investors leased. And at the time that I departed, I ended up having somewhere around 100 homes that we held for rentals. We also started a real estate brokerage. I ran a brokerage for a long time. My responsibilities were mainly, one of the main responsibilities was marketing. When you have that many properties, and then from a listing standpoint, we had, at one point, over 100 listings, active listings. So it was a lot involved in getting those marketing and getting all that stuff properly marketed. And we were kind of known to really get stuff done really fast. So if we were leasing a property for somebody or selling it, we would make it happen fast. So, and that was all pretty much my responsibility. And social media, really, I saw that as a huge opportunity about 2 years ago, and we started getting involved in it and having great success. And it's kind of funny how things happen, but it got to the situation. I own a property. I bought a property on the beach down in Argentina where my wife is from about 5 or 6 years ago, and I've been dying to kind of live that virtual lifestyle and spend a cold Midwest. I live in Ohio, so spend a winter down there where it's midsummer and enjoy that on the beach on a property. And when I bought it, I just got into business with my partners, and basically our company grew so quick that they just weren't down with me leaving for a long period of time. And so I started to get kind of stressed and frustrated, and then as time went on, our goals and things we want out of life were a little bit different. So, and ironically, at the same time, social media was really starting to take off, and I could see the potential in it. And so I got onto Twitter, grew a huge following fast, and all of a sudden, a lot of people started contacting me and saying, "Hey, tell me how you did this. I'll pay you. Teach me how you grew an audience of 70,000 people on Twitter in 3 months' time." And so I went on my 2-week vacation that I wanted to go for 2 months, but they told me I could only go for 2 weeks, my partners, to Argentina. I wrote a book called To Explode. I threw it out there for sale and ended up selling a ton of copies of it and getting really good reviews. And to the point that I came back to my partners and said, "You know what, I'm done. I don't want to work 90 hours a week anymore. And I love real estate, but I don't want to work with you guys because I want a little bit more freedom." And so that's what I did. And this year I got to realize the goal of spending an entire winter or 3 months in one of the worst winters in the Midwest ever down there, in flip-flops. So that's enough about me. But anyway, just been really involved with social media for a couple of years now, and Twitter is kind of my baby, and we'll cover it. So we'll get into it pretty heavy. Some of the people that we've worked with in the last year, we've been real fortunate, but we've networked with some great people and then been contacted by some big names and some small names. Some of these people you may recognize. We worked with Brian Tracy 6-7 months ago and helped his whole team with social media. Lewis did a lot of stuff with them on LinkedIn that really got some great feedback from them on. Than Merrill, another real estate investor, a lot of you guys know, we helped his team. Mike, your picture should be up here. I don't know why it's not, but we had that was an awesome webinar that we did back with you guys. We did a couple private webinars with Mike, and I remember you at the end of it saying something along the lines of, "I don't know if you can hear us, but we're jumping up and down and hooting and hollering here." But that was a great one, and you guys have gotten some awesome results, and it's been fun watching you kind of grow with some of the different networks and things you guys are doing. Joel Comm, Kerry Wilkerson, Chris Garrett, 3 other really big, well-known marketers online that we've all kind of worked with. And then we've had a lot of the smaller people you've probably never even heard of. These are just average people we've worked with that have had awesome results, and we'll share that kind of with you today, and a few others. So without further ado, this is the part you guys all really came for, and this is probably one of my favorite parts of the whole presentation that Lewis is going to go through here on LinkedIn.
Yeah, for me, LinkedIn's my baby. I guess I'm kind of the unofficial LinkedIn spokesperson. They just don't know about it, I guess, because of all the, I write tons of articles about them. I speak about it at events all over the world. So I probably spent more time on LinkedIn than most of the employees that work at LinkedIn, just because I believe it's kind of an untapped network that people don't understand, and they don't realize how powerful it really is. But just to give you a little more understanding about myself, when I started on LinkedIn, I didn't have a college degree. I'd never worked a job in my life, except for a couple internships in college, because I went right out of college, left early to play football, was trying out for the NFL draft. So I didn't have any business experience, didn't have any corporate experience, and I was able to build a multiple six-figure business without having any of that understanding, just by relationships I built on LinkedIn. So just to give you an idea of how powerful it is, if a young guy out of arena football can figure it out, then those in the business world who have some actual business savvy and know what they're doing should see 10 to 100 times the results that I'm getting right now. So just to give you an idea, LinkedIn is so powerful, and here's the reason why. In my opinion, your database for your business is really your biggest asset. Wouldn't you agree, Mike, that your network or your email list, your Rolodex is it's one of the main things, if not the most important thing, that drives your online and offline business? Would you agree or disagree to that by chance?
Oh, absolutely. No, it's all about the list, and it's all about it's the old adage, who you know, not what you know. But
exactly, perfect.
Yep.
So the list is everything. Your database is everything. A lot of these social networking sites are very, very powerful, and we're going to go into detail on why they're so powerful for certain things. However, LinkedIn is so powerful because it's the only one that allows you to export your database with one click of a button. So I think you can have upwards to 40,000 connections, and it takes a while to get there. Trust me, I'm only at around close to 8,000 right now myself. I've been on there for a few years now. But I can export my database at any time. I export that 8,000 members, upload it into my email marketing provider, and use that from now on out. And I've been building a relationship with people on LinkedIn, so they know me, they see me on there. I'm always on top of mind awareness because of the content I'm producing on LinkedIn. So they see my name, and then whenever I email them, it always opens more. I get more click-throughs, I get more sales, I get more everything because I've been building a relationship with these members on LinkedIn. So this is one of the most important reasons why this is so successful for me and other people, is because you can really build a database. You have that asset, and no one can ever take that from you. And obviously with a bigger database, you can get more sales and more opportunities from that. One of the things that's important to consider when talking about LinkedIn is it's the highest average household income per user over any other social networking site, including NewYorkTimes.com readers, including Forbes.com, Entrepreneur.com readers, Facebook, Twitter. It's the highest average household income of roughly $109,000 per user. So the users on LinkedIn have more money, and 45% of users are actual business decision makers, whereas other social networking sites and users who are readers of other main sites are around the 24 to 28% range of business decision makers. So you know that when you connect with individuals or you reach out to them and you ask them questions, that basically 1 out of 2 people will be able to take action right then and there on something you have to offer. So this is a network, 70 million people on this network. It more than doubled in the last year of users, and it's growing at about 1 million people every 12 days. It's extremely powerful right now with all the advanced features they're throwing in, and I'm going to share with you just a couple quick tips. But it's so, so powerful, and if you're not using LinkedIn, I urge you to please get on LinkedIn ASAP and actually follow along with something I'm going to share with you in about 30 seconds. But it's such a powerful way to get more traffic to your website. LinkedIn is always one of the top 5 referring sites that drives traffic back to my websites each and every month on autopilot. And I'm going to share with you a tip on how to do that actually right now. So in this kind of crazy looking graph with a bunch of different, or screenshot with a bunch of different circles and arrows, I'm just going to try to explain really quickly how you can basically tap into hundreds of thousands of people targeted network that could drive free traffic back to your site in about 10 seconds a day. So if you have an article on your website that you want traffic to get to, or if you just have your main website, a blog, doesn't matter, if you have something that you want people to see online, then here's pretty much one little tip out of probably 30 different things you could do on LinkedIn to help you drive traffic. Step 1 is you put in the link. When you go to your homepage of LinkedIn, you'll see kind of a network activity. And if you see the top left circle, you'll have kind of a status update section. Right here, you can put in a link just like you would a tweet on Twitter or a Facebook update status. So you can put in a link, you can put in a message, and you can share this with your entire network. Now this is where it gets cool. So you see the arrow coming from the picture to the right, to scrolling over to the right-hand side. There's a bunch of different names. Those are group names. You see Sports Industry Network, E-Marketing Association Network, et cetera, et cetera. After you share it with your direct network, so those are the people that you're directly connected with on LinkedIn, then you can share it to up to 50 different groups that you're a member of. Some of these groups that I have on this screen right here, on this screenshot, have over 200,000 members in the groups of targeted marketers or targeted sports professionals, or whatever it is your niche is, your market is. You can target them to all these other groups that you didn't have to put any effort into building. You can tap into a network of people that are in a community already that someone else has done the work for and drive qualified traffic back to your articles, back to your site on a daily basis. All you have to do is post it to these groups, then you click send, submit, and it's automatically sent to all the homepage profiles of everyone that's connected in these groups. So for those who don't understand this, you're basically getting access to people's home profile page with your picture and your link and your status update to potentially a few 100,000 people if you join the right groups with that many people. It's a serious game changer, and it's allowing me to get so many more leads and sales and opt-ins and traffic back to my site just by taking one action every day. And this is something that you can easily outsource or give to an assistant and have them do. That's just one little tip out of the many different ways you can drive tons of traffic back to your site. And I'm actually not even going to cover groups too in depth, but if you build your own group, there are serious potentials to get a lot more sales and a lot more opt-ins. And this is one of the ways I was able to build a 40,000 person email list.
If I can, Lewis, just to chime in real quick on that. We have, Mike Lewis has built some big groups. We've slowly kind of been building our groups and had some great results. But the one thing I wanted to point out is you have the ability with your group to send an email to that group once a week that comes to their email inbox. And we are seeing almost as good, if not better, results from an open rate and result standpoint when we send emails to those groups. So they're a killer tool that LinkedIn has, and it's a lot different than Facebook groups that kind of get forgotten about and some other ones. People really kind of stick with them, and LinkedIn does some stuff to keep them in there and keep them active in it. But just really, it's amazing results. So if you can start a LinkedIn group, do it, and they start to go viral after a while and grow themselves and kind of just grow on autopilot. And it's a great way to build an email list, really, from that.
Yeah, and again, it's always one of the top 5 sites that drives traffic to my websites each and every month. If you're looking to become a thought leader, a lot of people on this webinar have different goals, and it's tough because we want to make sure we reach the information to help you achieve each one of those goals. Some of you want more traffic. Some of you want more email leads. Some of you want more sales. Some of you just want branding exposure. You want to become known as a thought leader so you can get more speaking gigs. Some of you want to put butts in seats for live events or virtual events. Some of you want all these other things. We're going to cover how you can do pretty much all of that stuff with these strategies. So hopefully we cover some of your goals. I'm going to share with you something here in a couple seconds about how you can really get some serious results and instant results from this webinar. But if you want to become a thought leader, the best way to do that on LinkedIn is creating your own group. And again, here's one group that I created called the Sports Industry Network. Right now it's got close to 28,000 members. Now that's 28,000 of the most influential and affluent sports executives from every company around the world. Any sports company you can think of, someone in there from that company is in this group. So for me being the owner of the group and the creator of the group, it puts my name right in the front center of the group. It puts my main website right in front center as the only website for the group, and it gives me the ability to have some serious leverage. I built a paid monthly subscription membership site from a free group that I created on LinkedIn that's going to bring me 6 figures this year alone. And anyone can do this. And again, I never worked in the sports industry, but I was able to create value and bring people together and then send messages to them each and every week with different offers, with different information to help them build their sports business career. And it's been tremendous. And I did it all free with a LinkedIn group. If you're looking for a job, we get people that find jobs all the time. 80% of recruiters are researching for employees through jobs, and they're hiring a lot of them through LinkedIn. This is just one of our clients who went through our training, our advanced social media training, who got a job through LinkedIn up in Cleveland. She was working for a big Fortune 1000 company here in Columbus. They laid her off. Within a few weeks, she found a great position up in Cleveland from LinkedIn. If you're looking for an investor, I don't know, some people may want to find funding. That may be one of their goals. They want someone to sponsor them. They want to find more real estate investors to invest in their homes. They want, investor for a company they have, or an idea they have, or a product. If you do a search result for venture capital, there's close to 100,000 people on LinkedIn who are in the venture capital game. If you do a search result for investor or investments, you're going to find different numbers of people. You're going to find people in your own city. You're going to find people that you're connected to directly, that you're second and third degree connected to. You're going to find these people easily, and it's going to be so simple for you to be able to reach out to them and connect with them and start a conversation about how to get that investment you want. It's so easy to tap into this network. Right now, I want everyone on this webinar to stop what you're doing and completely listen to what I'm about to share with you. I want you to open up your LinkedIn profile, and I want you to actually take action on something I'm going to share with you right now. I'm going to give you a process that I want you to do, and I want you to do this fast. I want those who can do it the fastest, they're going to see more results and get instant results now. But before I tell you what it is, I want to share with you a quick testimonial from a guy who actually implemented this on a free webinar, just like I'm going to share with you right now. He implemented the same steps that I'm going to share with you on LinkedIn. So get your LinkedIn profile up. He implemented this, and within a couple weeks got a $6,000 client from doing this one simple task from LinkedIn. Now we're going to talk about one thing on LinkedIn right now that can make you money. And then we're going to talk about a lot of other stuff on other sites that are going to make you money and build your business as well. So implement this one thing at least. If you do anything on this call, please implement this right now. But basically, Aaron Humphreys, he went through our training, implemented this strategy. He became ranked number 2 for real estate investor on LinkedIn. Now that's out of 70 million people. He became ranked number 2 for the keywords real estate investor. Someone found him because they were searching for real estate investor on LinkedIn, found Aaron, clicked through his website, and eventually paid him $6,000 to go through one of his trainings for real estate business. So this is the power of LinkedIn. People underestimate how useful LinkedIn really is, and I'm going to share with you something right now that I want everyone to go to LinkedIn. Get ready to implement this right now. This is my 5-step LinkedIn SEO challenge. Now, lots of people, Mike, would love to be ranked number 1 for a keyword on Google. Like, for instance, if I was ranked number 1 for the keyword sports, anytime you typed in the keyword sports on Google, if I ranked number 1, I'd be a billionaire, because that's what ESPN ranks number 1 for. So it's extremely tough to rank for one keyword or 1 or 2 keywords on Google. It's so tough unless you've got a lot of money and a big brand right now. However, you can tap into a smaller network of the most affluent and the highest average household income user base with 70 million people network very easily and ranked in the top page, if not number 1 through 5 for certain keywords. So right now, I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to do to rank number 1, number 2, number 3. You know, sometimes it doesn't always work for number 1, but usually it'll happen in almost real time with basically 30 seconds of implementing this. So for me, when you type in sports, depending on how you are connected to me throughout the LinkedIn network, I'm the number 1 spot that shows up. This is one of the reasons why I get 25 people a day connecting with me on LinkedIn, building my list of over 100 plus a week, each and every day, and making more sales on autopilot because of this one thing that I've implemented and that lots of other people have implemented as well. So here's what we're going to do. Think about your keyword. If you're in real estate, if you're a real estate investor or agent, type in real estate agent or real estate Denver or New York City or LA or whatever it is. Type in your keywords for your business that you would want other people to search for to find you. And this is what you're going to do. So on the top right-hand corner, you'll see this. It'll say people search. You see where my keyword is sports up there. Type in your keyword up there, and you probably don't rank on the first page. If you do, then you don't need to implement this. If you don't rank number 1, take action right now. There's 5 places on your LinkedIn profile that you need to implement adding these keywords in order for you to rank higher. number one, and if you want to actually try this while we're doing this, Mike, I would love to see if you are getting results as well. Some people it doesn't always work for instantly. Some people it takes a day or two, but for some it goes up almost instantly. So, number one is your headline. And I'm going to breeze through this fast because we've got a lot of content to go through. Number one is your headline. Your headline is the most relevant thing on LinkedIn because it's the first thing people see. It's the top of the profile page. You need to put your keywords in your headline. So for me, you can see I've got this word sports a couple of times in my headline. That's number one. Number two is your current work experience. This is the most relevant thing next to your headline because it's what you're currently doing in business right now. So it's where you're working or it's your business that you own. So LinkedIn ranks this higher because it's what you're currently doing. You need to add the keyword in the description of your current work experience. So edit that out, put in your keyword there, and add it in. It doesn't need to be perfect right now, just take through the steps. Number three is your past work experience. This is where you used to work, so it's the third most relevant thing beneath your headline and your current work experience. Still pulls a lot of weight. You've got to have the keywords in your past work experience. Number four is your summary. This is the meat of your story. This is the body of your speech. This is, where all the information flows through. So you need to tell people kind of who you are, who you help, and how you help them in your summary. But you got to add those keywords through your summary as well. So that's the fourth thing. And number five is your specialties. Edit in your specialties your keywords. So here's just a place where you can list out certain specialties, 1, 2, 3 keywords at a time of the things you're good at, real estate investments, you're a real estate agent, you're wholesaling, whatever it is you do best, rehabbing, things like that. You want to put that in here, different keywords in there. So these are the 5-step LinkedIn SEO challenge. You got your headline, your current, your past, your summary, and your specialties. Add those keywords throughout these 5 places. Go back up to the top of the people search, type in that keyword after you implement this 5-step challenge and see where you rank. If you rank number 1, congratulations. You're going to eventually make money from this, and all from a free webinar because you took action and you came on this webinar. So congratulations. And we're going to report back. We're going to see what type of results people are getting. So make sure you implement this and start reporting back where you're ranking and for what keyword you're ranking. I'd love to hear your feedback on this and see where you're ranking because I want to make sure you're getting a lot of results out of this. Woo! I tried to speak fast during that.
All right. It's always exciting to see the results come back in. So like Lewis said, look on the upper right-hand corner of your LinkedIn page. Search for the keywords, see that you're working on, see how you rank, and then come back in the question box and type in the feedback that you got. If you're first, 5th, or 50th, let us know. This is, and just to share with you guys, we talked earlier about some of our students or clients that we'd worked with and the successes that they'd had. This was Michael Vallis. It's kind of an interesting story, but he owned an iPhone app website that he had been working on for a long time and really making no money from it. Traffic was slowly building, but not really at a good pace. Well, he took our training, went through it, and I think, Lewis, I don't know if you remember, but I think it was the first week or two through some connections he made on LinkedIn, and I think 1 or 2 was from Twitter as well. He actually connected with people that were advertisers, and in his niche, direct contact said, "Hey, here's my site. Would you like to run an ad?" And within a week or two, literally secured advertising contracts for $400 a month. And I know $400 a month is not sexy by any means, but it's something. And he's gone well beyond that now. But within 2 weeks, he took something that literally wasn't producing any income, got it to that point, and then he's attracted a whole lot more money. And then using some of the techniques, he's brought in tons of traffic, which has increased the value of his advertising. So really had some cool success, and that really came from some connections he made. So Twitter. LinkedIn is Lewis's kind of deal, his baby, he says, and Twitter is mine, if you will. I mean, I love it. For me, there's nothing, it's one of the best, and the more I'm around Lewis, the more I'm starting to like LinkedIn and getting some results. I mean, it's been incredible. I'm seeing great results in different ways than I get on Twitter. So, but for me, Twitter really has, some of the best uses Twitter has are for driving traffic, being known as a leader. And what I mean by that is if you're an investor in real estate, it's real easy to put out good content that kind of positions you as a knowledgeable investor. And what ends up happening is your audience will follow you on the different social networks because they want to check you out. If they're interested in buying something from you, they're going to do a Google search for your name, connect with you on Twitter, connect with you on Facebook, and pay attention to you, and on LinkedIn as well, and pay attention to you. And if you're putting out good content, you start to earn their trust because you look or you come across or you appear that you're knowledgeable, and that's what people want to see. So for me, the value in Twitter is really those two things, and the way you do that, you can do that by just putting out great content and people will come to you, but a great way to kind of escalate that, if you will, is to build a targeted following on Twitter. And what I mean by that is to grow your audience. Twitter has a lot of the, well, it doesn't have a lot of the limitations that Facebook or LinkedIn might have when it comes to growing an audience. So in no time at all, you can grow a large audience. And I don't know if you heard me earlier, but like I said, I grew an audience of 70,000 people in 3 months using Twitter. And
tell people the importance of having a large audience.
Yeah, I mean, the bigger your audience gets on Twitter, the better the results you have. So the faster you can grow it, the more opportunities, the more traffic, the more leads, the more clients you're going to get. And I'll share with you a couple examples of how that works, especially in the real estate investing niche. But the key to doing this is to grow a targeted following. And how do you do that? There's a site out here called Tweet Search. If you look at the screen now, you can see it. It's tweetsearch.com. It's an awesome, awesome site. It's really easy to use. Basically what this site has done is this has indexed over 13 million bios on Twitter. And so people have bios and they have keywords in their bios. So you search for people in your niche. So, and this is, I mean, what's great about this is it gives you access to their database. And what ends up happening is you find, good following wells, which I'll show you here in a second. Go to other people's databases that have good databases. Follow all of their friends, and you're going to get 30 to 40% of them to follow you back if you do this in a targeted fashion. If you don't do it in a targeted fashion, you won't have good results, and there's really no value in someone who's interested in gardening, going after that type of follower. Find people that are in real estate investing or in real estate or whatever your niche may be, and follow those kind of people. And that's who you want. That's your target audience. So use the keyword search tool. You can narrow it down by city or region, or if your buyers come from the West Coast, or if you need to narrow it down to the locale, just enter in the city and state along with those keywords, and it'll separate those results as well, because it's also indexed the locations. So the power in this tool is when you get the results from hitting the search button for the keyword, at the very top of the page there's a button you can click on for followers to sort this by the number of followers that somebody has. And what you want to do with this is sort this, and then you want to look for what I call an organic following well. And what I mean by that is the people that are following the particular user that you're looking for, this user has attracted more people following him from him doing a good job and being kind of an expert in the space. So it's real simple to look for, and how you identify it is they have a lot more followers than they have friends. And basically this kind of goes against what I'm telling you on the surface, but it doesn't. You don't want to look for people that they've followed 10,000 people and they have 10,000 people following them back, because the reason why you don't want to look for that is because you don't know if they've done it targeted or if they've just used generic profiles to grow an audience. So you want to look for organic ones where they have the best ones for me have come from the 2,000 to 5,000 range, where they have 2,000 to 5,000 people, and you can even go lower if they only have 700, 800, but they've only gone and followed 10 people. That usually indicates they've done a good job. But anyway, so look for targeted following wells. When you find them, click on that person's profile, go to their followers, and add them. And this, Lewis and I, we don't manually do this, and there's some tools we'll share later with you later in the training here that'll help you do this kind of automation. But this really, really works. I was logged into LinkedIn one day, and on the bottom right-hand corner, this showed up. This is back a month and a half ago in May. And this guy, had left a recommendation for Lewis that he says, I discovered Lewis when he started following me on Twitter. I purchased Lewis's book and blah, blah, blah. This guy, basically, while Lewis was doing something else, a software that we use went and followed this guy. He said, oh, who's Lewis and why is he following me? He investigated Lewis, got interested in his book, bought it, and is now a customer. And this just shows you it works. And I'm going to share with you another example later how a real estate investor sold his first deal using Twitter and some of the same exact techniques. So Twitter is great for driving traffic, and the way you do that is by adding friends. You basically add as many people as you can. You have some limitations, but you can usually go up to about 1,000 people a day. And you're going to build an audience of 300 to 400 new people to market to every single day. There's a tool out there called Social Oomph. That it's socialomph.com that gives you the ability to send an automated welcome message or an automated email. If you use this, if someone comes and follows you back, it sends a quick message to them. And you can use it to drive traffic. You can use it to earn trust. You can use it for a million different ways. Just be creative. Don't say, thanks for the follow, check out my website. Everybody does that now, and nobody pays attention to those. Say something like, I don't know, get creative. Think about it. What would pique your interest? What would make you want to investigate somebody a little bit more, get to know them better, and then send them a message like that. Some other kind of tips here. Don't use a URL shortener like bit.ly or tinyurl to display your bio or in a direct message. A lot of spammers are using that, and people don't click them. Try and use your full link. And this is so simple, but to drive traffic, this sounds basic, but a lot of people just don't do it. But post links from your blog or your website. And I'll share with you a little tool or technique on how to do that can get some good results here. Excuse me. Okay, now if you look at this here, this is really why Twitter works so well. The bio on the right is super stripped down. There's no photos, there's no videos. You can't, it just, people come here and they look at this and they're like, it really works from a curiosity marketing standpoint. People will come here and look, they don't have very much, so they want to click on your website to learn more. And if you think about this, most people only have a couple hundred followers on Twitter, so they notice when someone new follows them and they want to see, why did Sean Malarkey follow me? A great tip to increase the clicks to your website is with Twitter, you only allowed 17 characters to display your web name. Get rid of the www dot, because that frees up about a quarter of the space. It shows more your domain name. And I've seen almost double the click-through rates coming from twitter.com/Sean Malarkey once we did that and once I removed that. So it's a great little tip. Make sure you test it so that it works. Make your bio keyword rich. There's a lot of sites out there that index these profiles and people look for you that way on third-party sites. So make it keywords that you want people to find you by. Be interesting. This is social media, and Twitter is a little bit more like a cocktail party when you compare it to LinkedIn or Facebook. So have a little fun with it. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but just try and be a little social and have fun with it. And again, curiosity marketing really works well on all this. Sorry, I just hit the wrong button and screwed up the slides. Anyway, all right. This is Rob Bailey. He's a real estate investor out of San Diego, and this is just a screenshot of his blog that I took the other day. He literally followed one of my tips or one of the advices that I gave him and flipped his first deal. What Rob did, this tip that I suggest is when you're done with Twitter for, if you jump on for a few minutes and you're getting off, you're going to be not back on for a day or for 2 days, make sure you leave a link that drives traffic back to your site. If you're doing what I tell you to go and follow a lot of people, all throughout the next few days once you do that, people will be coming to your page to check you out. And the last message that you put out there is like a giant headline. I'll do this on my site, and I'll put links to a blog that I haven't had blog post that I haven't had traffic to in a month, and I'll get clicks just coming in randomly all throughout the next 10, 12, 14 hours, however long I have it up before I come back. Because this font on this last message is bigger than any other font on the page, and it really jumps out. So Rob did that, and he left it up over the weekend. He followed a couple thousand people over that weekend, and somebody contacted him by email and said, hey, I'm interested in your property. You got a signed contract. When he met the person, he says, how did you end up finding me? And she said, you followed me on Twitter, and I clicked on your link, read through your blog. I found this post. So this was Max Goldberg. He's one of our other clients or customers that we had, and this is just a great story. Max was in the organic food niche, and he'd been blogging about it for a long time, and working in different forums and whatnot, not really getting much traction. He got on Twitter, and in 2 months went from under 300 followers to over 10,000 people, and the traffic on his website shot up. He literally like overnight, essentially overnight became a thought leader in the space, and he's now recognized as an expert. He's gotten all kinds of gigs and different business opportunities that have come from that, all from using Twitter. So he followed some pretty basic principles and some advanced stuff that we teach, and really had some awesome results. So if you see him on Twitter, hit him up and see how he's doing. But he is really doing a great job and getting some great results from it. So Facebook. For me, Facebook has some huge opportunities, and the thing you need to understand is all these networks are just a little bit different. You use Twitter one way, you use Facebook another, you use LinkedIn another way, and then there's 50 different ways to use each one. But at the core of it, Facebook has some huge branding opportunities. We're just going to cover a couple to go through. But number one, people are connecting with you that are interested in buying things from you or becoming customers. They look at your page, your Facebook page, and they're going to make judgments based upon this. So there's a couple things you want to take note here. First of all, and we don't have a slide for this, we should, but do not, if you're into Farmville, if you're into Mafia Wars, or any of those addicting games that a lot of people play, do not post that stuff to your wall. There's a large portion of people that form opinions about people that spend their time doing that, and you don't want to lose a customer that sees that you spend a few hours a day on Farmville or Mafia Wars, and they can tell that because the times that you're posting that stuff to your wall. Get rid of it. It's okay that you do it, but just get rid of it if you do. The second thing is, if you look at this slide here, the reason Facebook works so well is people, and I think people are spending what? You remember the stat list? It's like almost an hour a day now. You have 55 minutes a day now on Facebook. The average user, so 400 million people or 500 million people are spending that much time and almost an hour a day. And the reason it works so well is they'll click on one person's profile on their network, and they'll see that if you look at this slide here, we took a screenshot of Lois. I don't remember who Lois was, but we just found her looking through the networks. She had commented on 15 different things here. This is a little segment of 6 or 7, but what ends up happening is people will click on your profile, then they'll look at all the activities that you're doing. They want to see what you like, they want to see what you commented on, and they'll click that and they're gone. They're never going to come back to your page because they're going to get lost in whatever you're doing. And then they follow on. So remove all of that stuff. You can mouse over it on the right, and a remove button will pop up. And really what it does, too, is it deters them from learning more about you, which is what they came to your page to begin with. So get rid of all that information. The only exception to that is if that information builds your credibility or makes you look positive. So if you had commented on something that was an educated response to something in your part, you can do that because people will come and see that you're a thought leader. Based on your comment, or if someone's giving you kudos and you went and commented on that, leave that as well. So the number one thing that I think Facebook is really great for is for branding and for leads. I've done a lot of different ad campaigns, but this is one we did in the real estate space that really had incredible results, and I'll share those results with you here in a second. We've been advertising on Google, Yahoo, MSN, some other sites, and Facebook gave us the ability for the first time to really kind of laser target our audience in ways that we'd never had before. It gave you the ability to segment it out, not only by state, by city, by interest, by age, by college education. I mean, it's so insane all the different opportunities you have, but this is what blew me away. With this particular ad here, we spent just under $600. We got 821 clicks through to our site. We generated about 300 to 400 leads from those clicks, people opting into our message to receive updates from us. And the amount of impressions, that was what blew me away. Almost 5 million people, this ad was almost impressed upon 5 million different pages on Facebook for less than $600. And I used to, our real estate brokerage, we looked at running ads at billboards, and we were literally going to pay $3,000 a month for, God, I want to say like 20% of those kind of views in a very non-targeted fashion for a billboard that sat above a highway in a decent area of town, but literally that was the only way we could really segment it. Was based on that. So when I looked at that and compared it to this, I mean, it's just hands down. And plus, there's no contract on Facebook. I was going to have to sign a year contract to get a good deal on that billboard. But that gave us some great leads. We actually sold a couple deals to investors. We literally got from Facebook. Targeting, this shows you here, if you look at this slide, how qualified it is. And the cool thing about it is you can split test it. In about 1 minute's time, you can duplicate an ad and change one little setting and then pay attention to the results. So for this one, I did people that were people that were in California that were 40 and older, and then who were female, and then those were male. And I looked at the results that came in, and then increased spending on the ones that were paying better and decreased them on the others. This was, you want to go ahead, Liz, on this one?
Yeah, I have never done Facebook ads, but Sean had told me how powerful it was for his business and the real estate stuff when he was doing that. So I tested it during a 4-day launch of my membership site that came out, excuse me, a few months ago. And I was like, I'm just going to put $100 into it and see what happens. Got over 500,000 impressions on it, which is really what I was always looking for, is just having people see the image and see the ad, just to reassure them that the launch was going well and things like that, I guess. And I wasn't sure if it was actually working or not. I was getting a bunch of clicks, just getting a lot of impressions, so I could see that. But when I started to realize that I was getting actual real results from it, from $100, was when one of my connections actually popped up the chat box with me, and he's in the sports business as well, and he said, Lewis, he said, how are those ads going for you on Facebook? And I said, I think they're going pretty well. I'm getting good, click-throughs, getting good impressions, things like that. He said, everywhere I go, and granted, people spend 55 minutes a day on Facebook, so he was saying, everywhere I go, when I go through my pictures, when I go through my videos, when I go through my fan pages that I like, when I go through my friends' pages, anywhere I go on Facebook, I see this ad pop up on the right-hand side, and I continually see your logo, your image, your information over and over and over again. And he said, because of that, I figured everyone else must have been signing up. That social proof I added for him, he said, everyone else must have been signing up. Again, 55 minutes a day, they were looking at this over and over and over again. He said, I signed up just because of that alone. And I'm sure I got other people do the same thing. But it's very, very targeted ways you can do that. And I targeted all the people who just had sports professional, sports business, sports marketing, media in their profile. So I found the exact people I wanted to see it, and was able to get close to 300 paid members in a 4-day launch, basically using a LinkedIn group and Facebook ads that I added. So very, very easy way to make money and get those leads and the branding you want through Facebook. Next thing we're going to talk about is blogging. And again, I hope everyone is taking down notes still, because I know some of you are probably a little overwhelmed at how amazing the instant results came through from the 5-step SEO LinkedIn challenge. So hopefully you're not too overwhelmed and you're still getting more good content out of this, and you're actually not on the floor rolling around because it's been so awesome so far. But blogging is such a blogging is.
I'm laughing because a couple of people have chatted in that's like that they no number ones, but a couple number twos for a real estate agent and real estate investors, or no, a number 2 and a number 3 for real estate investor and real estate agent.
Well, Mike, that's awesome. I don't know if you remember earlier, but Aaron, the guy that got a $6,000.
How did it happen so fast, man? I don't get it. Go ahead.
It's instant, and Aaron had that number 2 position, so there might be something to the number 2 over the number 1 one.
Yeah, and we'll ask people later again to find it to chat in their responses of where their rankings are. We'd love to see that. But blogging, we're going to talk about blogging really quick, and all these other social networking sites, they're all amazing. All these sites on the outside are incredible because they have built-in networks. They help your message go viral. It's a great way for you to target your audience, things like that, and drive traffic. But you want to drive traffic back to something. You don't want to drive it just to another social networking site that you don't own. You want to drive it to something that you own. Your blog, you have complete control over. You can change it, update it. You own the domain name, you own the hosting, so you have control over what happens. These other profiles, they may sell the company. Your profile may get hacked. Who knows? You never know what's going to happen. But you own your website. Your blog is the most important thing, and you want to drive all other leads back to that website. We're going to cover top 4 ways to make more money blogging. There's lots of things we could cover with blogging. However, people have different goals. So we're pretty much going to say, here are the top 4 ways so you can pretty much generate more money, and we'll integrate some other strategies within that. But hopefully this will be attractive to some of your goals.
It's so basic, guys, but with real estate, I would just, every listing, if you don't know how to blog or if you do, either way, it's so easy. It's literally just like using a Word document. If you know how to use a Word document, it's that simple. But just throw up your listings on there, put them somewhere where you can advertise them then on your social networks. The object is build up your audience on your social networks, give them something to look at, capture their information, and then market to them. In 4 real simple ways, to make some money using your blog. We'll go through it. Go ahead, Lewis.
The first thing is important for your blog is that you really need to have content to make these options work. And if you're worried that you don't have the time to generate content, or if you don't want to be on video, or you don't think you're a great writer, or whatever it may be, you don't have to worry about that, because you can just drag other related content from other sites, from YouTube videos that that help you pretty much generate that content for you. So here's the top 4 things. Number 1, lead generation. You've got to have somewhere on your site where you can generate leads. Again, Mike said that, his email list is one of the most powerful things. His database is the most powerful thing for his business. It's the same for Sean and mine. So generating those leads is powerful. The more you do that, we're going to talk about email marketing and how you can really maximize this here in a second. Number 2, affiliate marketing. Putting other people's products on your site that are related to your niche and to your audience. So if you've got, I guess I don't know whether you can put other real estate education training products on there. You could put other homes that you're referring on there. Any other way that you can do to make a commission off of someone else's training, service, or product. Number 3, affiliate ads or sponsorships. I've got an ad on my site that brings in sometimes $1,000, sometimes $1,500 a month. Now again, that's not that much, but it also pays some good bills for me, and pretty much pays my mortgage. So just having one ad on my site pays my mortgage, which is well, not my mortgage, my rent, sorry, for my apartment. But it's not a bad gig, and over time, you can really build up your blog to get those sponsorships and those ads if you have a targeted niche site. And step 4 is creating your own products. For me, I've got a couple books on my website. I've got other big ticket products on my website. But creating a product around your expertise and then selling it, once you get the traffic, it's a lot easier to sell the products. So those are the 4 main ways to generate, I guess, more money on your site, your blog. Obviously, there's more, but these are the 4 that we use. We're going to speed it up because we've got a couple more points we want to cover, but we want to make sure we respect your time. And we're also going to be sharing with you at the end a really cool, I guess, type of some more things you can do with social media. So if this is exciting people, if you're ranking number 1, 2, 3 on the front page of LinkedIn, if you're seeing some serious results already on this webinar, if you're one of those individuals who's taking action and who's responding in the question section right now about all the great stuff that's happening to them so far, then you're going to want more training because you are the ones who are going to succeed by taking further action to get more results. So we're going to share with those who are actually action takers on this webinar some more advanced training at the end of this webinar if you're interested. So stay tuned for that. Also going to share with you some other goodies right now. So we're going to cover YouTube. We're going to go really fast. Make sure you're taking notes down because we're going to go really fast to try to respect your time.
Awesome. YouTube, and you guys, I'm going to speed this up because we're taking a while, but this is probably one of the most important parts and probably one of the most exciting things for you. As a real estate investor, I uploaded about 100 videos of the houses. I would literally just take my camera out to take pictures of the houses that I was going to be marketing, and I would turn the camera on, the video section, the video side, and just walk and talk. And I would say, here we are, this property, and I'd film a video. And I ended up getting almost 1,000 views per video from the traffic that I got, and I'll show you how to do that. Lewis had one video that went extremely viral and had almost 300,000 or over 300,000 views on. Between the two of us, we've gotten over 500,000 hits to our videos. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. YouTube tips. Keywords, tags, descriptions, and file names. This is really, really important, but SEO is huge. Make sure you use the keywords in your title, in the tags, in the description, and the file name that you want it to be found by. So if it's investment properties Atlanta, if it's lease option or wholesale deals California, San Diego, whatever, use those words in your title, in the tags, in the description, and the file name. Use them as many times as you can where it's relevant and you get the most results. And somebody just asked, what do you mean by the file name? It's real simple. When you upload your video, don't upload a video that's dsc403.mov. Rename it to the keywords. So you might want to make it say San Diego investment homes or San Diego house for sale or lease, whatever it is. Save it as that, then upload it. A lot of people don't know this, but that has a pretty big bearing on the search results that come up in YouTube. Pretty basic here, but put your website link in your description. We've seen a pretty good jump in the amount of traffic coming from YouTube since they've moved the website or moved the description below the video. Make sure you put it first because it only shows about the first 200 characters there. So if you put it somewhere later in the thing, if they don't click the more button, they'll never see it. Annotations, this is real simple. An annotation is a colored box on the YouTube video itself that gives you the ability to put text in there where you can instruct people to subscribe to your channel, go to your website, call if they want to view the property, blah, blah, blah. There's some really, really cool things there. To get more exposure and traffic and to really own the search results, and I didn't really talk too much about it, well, I'll show you here in a minute, but use a tool out there called TubeMogul. You send it out once, and it'll send your video to all these different sites, and you will own the front page of Google by using this. There's literally courses that people have charged well, big $1,000 for that just teach you how to use this free tool because it is that powerful and you get that good of results. So another really cool site out there, it's called called Veeple. It allows you to make your videos clickable. It is a paid resource, but it may or may not be worth it. Test it out. I would go to a property, I would stand in front of the camera, and I would hold up a piece of paper, like a fact sheet on the property, and I'd say, hey, click this piece of paper I'm holding right here in my hand, and you'll download our PDF report that has all the facts you can know about this house. Once we started using YouTube, we started getting tons of traffic from Google. Actually, it didn't happen overnight, but over about a month period of uploading 5 or 6 videos, we started seeing an increase in traffic from Google and YouTube. And then, within a 6-month period, it was through the roof. I can't even tell you how much we got, but or how impressive it was. But the funny thing is Google owns YouTube, so your keywords that rank well on YouTube, they're going to show up on Google. That is the idea there. And then also, with the more content that you can put on YouTube, it'll help with backlinks. It'll help drive up your primary website. So I don't know if you can see there, but this was a video, just about every keyword, and I think still to this day, if you search anything, we did a lot of lease options and a lot of renting to own. In fact, I probably did 500 transactions in the last 2 years I was there for lease options or renting to own. If you search any of those terms around Columbus, Ohio, or any of the surrounding suburbs in Columbus, you will find just about every time we show up, our website shows up first, or our video shows up first, which then, if people like the video, it drives them back to our website. So I don't know if you're going to say something, I kept hearing something, but if you are, just cut me off. The last time I did this search, the last time I checked, this was literally getting us anywhere from 400 to 500 unique visits a day from our market. And Columbus, Ohio is not a big market, and those visits were coming from Google and YouTube. So it made it real easy to drive a lot of traffic just by simply uploading videos to YouTube. So
the next thing, and again, we're flying through, so I hope you're taking notes. I just saw, people are just taking lots of notes right now. So next thing we're going to talk about is email marketing. And again, this really isn't a social media site because there's lots of different email marketing providers out there. However, we like to include this in this training because it's all about your database and it's how you can market people effectively online.
The piece that ties it all together.
Yeah, it's really a piece that ties it all together. I guess your blog and email marketing, this is just another resource you can use to really print money is what we like to call it. And email marketing, it's a great way to drive more traffic because if you're building up a relationship with people on social media, they're going to open your emails more often because they're used to talking and communicating with you. So it's able to drive more traffic when you add a link in an email. You're able to really stay in front of your potential buyers more often. So we recommend sending emails weekly, and some people do it actually daily. If you're adding enough value and hitting your right audience with the right message, then it's just about being consistent. Whatever you want to do, if you want to send it daily, weekly, monthly, just stay consistent with it. But really, go ahead.
I can't tell you how big of a piece this was for our real estate business. Literally, we would send out a deal. Every new deal we got, we would send 2 or 3 emails to our list over a couple-day period. Not most of the time, but oftentimes it only took 1 email. And if it was a good deal, we would get 10 to 20 phone calls within a half hour of sending that, and oftentimes put properties in contract literally in the first few hours of sending that email. And it literally got to the point that people would call us 2-3 hours later and be furious that we had already put a property in contract because they wanted it so bad. So it really people would open our emails so fast because the deals, we would send out good deals and they would always be gone. And that was an important piece. If you're listening to this, if you email market to your list and send messages about your deals or new properties that you have, always let them know that you've got it sold or you've got it in contract as well, because that shows the social proof and it trains them to open your emails more. Send an I'm sorry you missed it kind of email sold. But this is using social media. This is just a sample. This is in the last year alone. Built a year and a half. Built 33,000 person list from that. And that's just a segment. That's a large portion of the list. But this is one of Lewis's lists that came from LinkedIn that literally is all free traffic that he's grown and built from there. This is not a typical day, but a pretty typical day, not far off from a typical day. This was March 8th this year. And this all grows on autopilot once you kind of get things working on the different social networks. But this is, I don't know how many this list, like 50 leads that opted into your list on March 8th this year. So The key with email marketing for us is to provide value. So if you're in real estate, send out information that your people are going to appreciate. If you're in any other niche, send stuff that people will appreciate. Send stuff that let people know they can trust you and like you. And then you can also sell them stuff, whether it be your properties or other offers, and make good money doing so.
Hey, Mike, I'd love to ask you a quick question really quick and get your thoughts on this. If you were able to build, I'm sure you have a much larger list than this, but if you were able to build a 40,000 person email list in about a year and a half, where all those 40,000 people were constantly basically engaging and communicating with you or seeing your name out there weekly, and we're getting emails from you, but also getting tweets, Facebook status updates, LinkedIn communication, reading your articles, how much would that be worth to you? You know how to effectively market to emails. How much would 40,000 email lists be worth to you? Would it be, how much would each lead be, or just that entire list be? What would that do for your business?
Oh, it's a great question. Every industry varies, but it's been said that if you have 10,000 raving fans and you treat them well, and you don't try and manipulate them in any way, and you're genuine with them, that you can make a good living. So whatever a good living is, $50,000 to $100,000 a year, then multiply that by 4. So it's pretty good money. I mean, it's all about the email list and how you treat the folks, and that social media aspect of it. It's that's treating them well. Some people have those lists and they have 5 times that, but they blast them all the time, and
right.
It's not the same. So.
And it really is about the market and how you engage with your customers, or your potential leads, your buyers, excuse me. And there was an article, I forget the article name, but I think it's called 1,000 True Fans.
Right.
It's based off of musicians, I believe, or artists, and it's the fact that you can make, I think it's like you can make $100,000 a year, or basically a full-time income, with just 1,000 true fans if you're a musician, because you can get them to buy a CD every year, you can get them to come to 3 different concerts. Like, they had some type of formula that did help you. All you need is 1,000 people basically on your email list to make 6 figures if you're a musician. And you do, and obviously you got to hustle and you got to grind and you got to put some effort and work into it. But that's just 1,000 fans as a musician. But think if you had 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 fans that were interacting with you daily. If 1,000 could make a musician $100,000 in a year, just think about what 10 could do. 10,000. So just think about that for everyone on this webinar. And again, this is just to give an example, everyone is doing email marketing. Some people are saying email marketing is dead. I completely disagree, and I'm sure you would agree with me, Mike, in that statement as well, because I'm sure you get so many emails from big companies, whether it be big brands like Amazon or Zappos or just whatever, and then also local companies in your own town. If you've signed up for different things, this is a local ice cream store that's in Columbus, Ohio. It's actually in the Ohio area, but Sean and I get emails from them weekly from different updates, specials of the week, and I guarantee they continue to do it for a reason. It works for them. They don't stop doing email marketing. They don't keep doing it unless they're getting results. They can track the results. They can see how many people are opening. They create coupon codes so they know how many people are coming in, and it continues to work over and over and over again. And that's why small businesses, big businesses, entrepreneurs, real estate investors all use email marketing once they figure it out, because it works very, very well. Again, we covered a ton of stuff today, and I just want to do a quick little recap of some of the things we just covered, but there's still more to come. However, here's what you've learned so far. How to build a qualified business, basically how to build qualified business leads on LinkedIn. We also talked about traffic and becoming a thought leader and really building a huge group up on LinkedIn. How to drive traffic on Twitter, not just traffic, massive traffic. Also, how to maximize Facebook and why it's so underutilized. We talked about Facebook ads and showed you how you can really get a massive exposure out there, branding exposure from just a little bit of money and get a lot of traffic and leads through Facebook ads. How to get on the front page of Google using YouTube, and really how to utilize this with the long tail keywords. How to make money blogging. Really, there's 4 main ways that we use and we recommend. We talked about that with social media, and then how to maximize your email marketing efforts so you can print money. This has been so far the online social marketing strategies webinar to dominate your market. And I wanted to ask a couple questions here in a second. I just want to get some feedback from people in a second. However, I know a lot of people took action on my 5-step SEO LinkedIn challenge. A lot of people were chiming in and saying, their rankings, showing their rankings, getting really excited. People were saying they've been taking notes and things like that. So here's what I want to do. And with your permission, I want to share with you an opportunity where you can take more action and get more results. It's all about those who take action and get the most results. Every one of this webinar has been taking action, basically, whether they've been writing notes or just being attentive or going through the 5-step SEO LinkedIn challenge. So what I want you to do right now is go to reiwired.com/social. And if you want to call in a second, I'll share with you a number where you can call in. But we've got an advanced training course on social media marketing covering all the topics we talked about, but taking things to the next level. So if you thought this content was good and you thought you got instant results from this, you haven't seen anything yet. And there's some other cool things we want to share with you, along with some great bonuses, software, and live events and things like that. But basically, there's 8 social marketing mastery modules. And here's what you're going to learn. For those who want to get results, who like getting results, this is what you're going to basically learn. There's 8 different modules on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, blogging, email marketing, and there's some other bonus videos in there as well. Now, each module, and I could talk about what this is for a long time, but I'm going to break it down in simple terms. Each module, we go over the very basics. So if you know nothing about any of these sites, we go over the very stripped down basics about laying the foundation first to set yourself up for success. Then we go through all the other intermediate strategies to the most advanced strategies on every social networking site and resource provided.
Louis just said we really start from the basics, and if you know nothing at all, or you consider yourself pretty advanced, we get feedback. We did it this way because a lot of people that are advanced set this up when they knew nothing at all and have never gone back or even considered going back and looking at how they set it up, and maybe they realize once they see the training how much they're missing from an opportunity standpoint by not having things set up correctly. So we get feedback all the time from people that are, what we consider power users that say, geez, man, I didn't realize it. The opportunities I was missing by not having these set up right. So
right. And the thing is, and again, we understand that people like to learn in different ways. This is a video training course, so there's actually, we go behind the scenes. We show you our profiles, exactly how we do things, step by step. We hold your hand along the way. You see it stripped down. It's not some on-the-surface type of information. It's everything that we do, and we bring in other profiles and experts and talk about everything from the most basic to the most advanced strategies that you probably never even thought were available. What's included in each training? Each training is 60 to 90-minute videos, but then we also have got MP3 audio, so you can listen to it on your iPod or in the car at another time. We've got transcripts, action guides, cliff notes, and all the works. So you can learn in different formats if you want. And we've got a lot of different bonuses, and I would love to share with you this bonus. This is one that I'm actually really excited about. Mike's actually throwing in a bonus that we're going to talk about here in about 10 seconds. So stay tuned for that bonus because I think it'll blow you away for that bonus alone. But for those who want to get more results and want to take more action, we've got a live event with Dan Merrill. And some of you may already know of Dan Merrill. He, again, was on A&E's Flip This House. He's a very successful real estate investor, a big real estate education guy as well online. We are doing an event with Dan called the Smart Social Marketing and Info Marketing Event, September 24th to 26th in San Diego. So for those who know Dan, he's an extremely successful business owner. He's done over $15 million online in sales this year alone, and he's going to be giving you his $15 million blueprint at this event. We're going to be talking more about really in-depth strategies on social media, some of the latest things that are coming out, bringing in some of the top marketers in the world to share with you how to create an online business and market your business online better. Going over tons of different details on creating products, affiliate marketing, everything you need to know in this live event in San Diego. It's going to be a great time on the beach. And again, Fan's going to be actually selling these tickets for $1,500. So one ticket. And we are actually be throwing this in as a bonus, not just one ticket, but 2 tickets. So you'll be able to bring a spouse or a coworker to the live event for free, just for taking up on the course. And it's going to be less than $1,500. The next thing is the bonus number 2. This is a software. What did I say? Software. This is a software that Sean used and I use now, and lots of other people, fan have used to help them grow their followings to over 10,000 people. You know, Sean has over 100,000 followers on Twitter, and he's used this software to help him grow that. And again, we talked about the power of Twitter. The more followers, targeted followers you have, the more traffic, leads, and sales you're going to get. It's just a proven fact. And we're going to be throwing in the software. The software is not on the market, so you actually can't buy it. You won't have access to it unless you go through this training, because we want only those to have access to this powerful resource who have gone through the training so they know how to use social media effectively. We don't want it in the hands of the wrong people. And again, with this, you're going to get more traffic, more leads, and more sales. That's pretty much what everyone wants. So we're going to give you exactly what you want. This is kind of a little bit of the back end. You can customize a lot of different things to help you follow people who say certain keywords, sending messages, a lot of things that you can't do right now.
Let me just jump in real quick. This is just if you look at this slide here, you can see you can search keywords of what people are saying, and then if they follow you back, it'll automatically send them a direct message that's relative. So if you're, this particular one is one that I use. It's about Facebook. If somebody says the words Facebook wall, it'll send them a blog post that I did about Facebook. So think about how you could use that and how you could drive kind of specific types of traffic based on that. You can send customized messages based on whatever keyword you're looking for, and that's really how you get the best, get awesome results out of it. So.
Yeah, the software has been a huge hit. Everyone wants it. But again, we only like to give it to those who go through the training because it's that powerful. The next thing is lifetime access and upgrades. Social media changes a lot. There's a lot of the basics that'll never change, which we have in our courses, but we also like to improve in it and add new features and things like that, new video trainings every time there's something that comes out we feel is relevant for you. So every time we do that, it's basically an upgrade to the product. You have lifetime access and upgrades to that. $9.97 value. We also have 180-day email support. So if anyone is confused about anything after they go through the training, we've got great, we've had a few, we'll just say we've had hundreds of people go through this training. There's lots of good comments after each module. So people ask questions there. We answer questions right below each training. But if you have an extra additional question, we've got 180 days of free email support where you can reach out to either me or Sean or our support team. We'll get back to you and help you answer your question on the module. This is a cool bonus that I'm really excited about. And Mike, if you want to actually talk about this briefly, you're going to be doing a one-year membership for free. Is that right, for those who take action on this?
Exactly. It's $97 a month. It's my baby. It's kind of the culmination of my life's work in real estate and on the web here. I've got over 100 educators, video-based. It's kind of the YouTube for real estate investors. Van Merrill's on there, Preston Eli, Kenny Rushing, Chris Chico, Steve Cook. There's over 100 actual real estate investors, each one at least 1 hour, some as many as 4 or 5 hours of video training. You couldn't get through it in 5 weeks full time. So it's $97 a month, and I'm going to throw it in for 1 year if you're smart enough. And actually, there's a lot. I think Sean's in there. There's actually a lot of internet stuff on there. How to build your list, how to PPC, pay-per-click, or organic search. There's a lot of internet stuff in there too. Lots of information. If you're an information junkie like me and you like to learn and learn about whatever, it doesn't necessarily have to be real estate. It's a lot about real estate, but it's a lot about business building. So again, $97 a month, and we're growing like wildfire. And if you want to get involved with these guys, these social media geniuses, I'm like blown away here. And I'm going to give you a free year. So,
Mike, that's really generous of you, and it's really cool. The site has so much good content in it, and the cool thing about it is having a free year access to it. It's, you can kind of refer back to it for any need that you come up with throughout that year, because you pretty much got something for every little aspect of marketing.
And we keep adding to it, by the way. It's not like it's just stagnant. I think there's an average of a video uploaded every 24 hours or 48 hours. So it grows pretty fast.
That's awesome.
That's unbelievable. So you've got that. That's an additional bonus, again, for those who pick up this training course. And I guess just to recap, everything included, you've got the Smart Social Marketing Strategies video training course with everything you need to know about social media to help you grow your business. And again, these modules are created If you don't want to go through them yourself, you can pass them off to your virtual assistant or employee and have them go through and implement all this stuff for you. So you don't have to worry about it if you think it's overwhelming or too much time to consume. You'll also get the live event, 2 tickets to the live event, $1,500 tickets to the live event in San Diego, 3-day event on the beach with the man, Fan Merrill. You've got the Twitter software. Again, this is not on the market, so we actually don't sell it. And I think we're going to do a limit on this actually for the first 20 people that actually sign up right now. They're going to get access to that. We try to make sure that we want the right people to actually get access to this software. If we sold it, it'd be around $500, but we want to make sure the right people have access to it. So if you are a serious action taker and you want to get this training now and you think that software is going to help you, which has helped everyone that's used it generate leads and sales on autopilot, then for the first 20, you're going to get that bonus. But just make sure you take action fast because we want to make sure it's in the hands of the right people. You're also going to get the REI Wired membership, $97 a month for free for 1 year. This is a powerful resource, an education training forum that you're going to have for a year. For anyone that signs up as a bonus, it's going to be extremely powerful. You know, I couldn't even put a value on this. It's over $5,000 if you added all this content and information and software and live event up. It'd be over $5,000. But today we're going to do it for $997. And again, that software is only for the first 20 people. So go to reiwired.com/social and just make sure you sign up today so you can get all these goodies and have everything you need to pretty much run your online business. And also, we guarantee 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, no questions asked. So if you're on the fence about anything, or if you just don't know if it's right for you, or you just want to test the waters and see how it works and see the type of results you're going to get immediately once you go through the training, that's completely fine with us. So you've got that guarantee. Again, reiwired.com/social. You've got the guarantee. And if you want to order by phone, you can do that as well. All you have to do is call 813-425-5022, and you can call in and order this up right now. If you have any other questions, we can answer that there. But again, or go to reiwired.com/social. Again, first 20 for the bonus software, but all the other bonuses come to everyone else at any time. So, gotta catch my breath, Mike. I've been talking a lot.
Awesome education. I mean, and a great offer. You guys are really bending over backwards for the folks, and I really appreciate it, man. Seriously.
No, for sure. My online mentor said when you put together an offer, try to make it as irresistible as possible, and we think we had that. And then you throw in a year of REI Wired, and for me, that's pretty darn irresistible.
Now you did it, man. It's irresistible.
Well,
I've been through it. I know. I've done Ben train, so I know.
I hope, Mike, that we didn't go too much over the allotted time, and we delivered as much content as possible as we could for everyone on the webinar. We really wanted to over-deliver and just share as much great, free training for people so they could get some real results right now. Because I know there's a lot of presentations out there that people just throw in a lot of fluff. We wanted to just give as much great stuff up front as possible so that those could pick and choose what they want to implement, go ahead and implement it, and just start seeing results. So hopefully it's been valuable for everyone on the webinar. We really appreciate everyone coming in, and we look forward to those. Actually, I know I'm already seeing some sales coming in, so we're really excited about those who are taking action and joining us, I guess, on this social media journey. And we look forward to seeing everyone that comes to the live event. It's going to be an amazing time. I really want to be able to shake everyone's hand that's taking this training and just say thanks and hear about all the success you're getting in your real estate business or any other business. So, do yourself a favor and invest in this if you've got the chance, because you're going to get some serious results out of it. And again, there's an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee, so you've got really nothing to worry about. So I don't know if you have any questions for us, or if there's any questions coming through that you want us to answer about any of the trainings we've done over, or the products, or any of that jazz.
I don't want it to go too long. People get a little upset. That's the one thing they want to keep it down. So, but reiwired.com/social. 813-425-5022. Give us a call if you got any questions. We'll get them answered for you. No problem. But guys, one of the things that I think, you did succeed in doing is over-delivering content. I mean, really, the folks that, the smart ones are taking advantage of the offer, but the other folks got just unbelievable information, really. So I want to thank you for that, because you're right, a lot of people do give a lot of fluff, and that was a big deal for, I was writing some stuff down, tweak some of my stuff. So.
Awesome. Well, you know what, that's our goal, and for us, Mike, we've always found that, you know, we usually do pretty well when we give a lot of value. We find that people, you know, really enjoy that, and we get a lot of people that end up purchasing because they believe in us because of the value we provide. And then for those that don't, they still get a ton out of it. They don't feel like they've wasted, you know, an hour and a half on here. So we hope that we've accomplished that. And I haven't seen any negative comments at all come in, and nothing but positive.
Oh no, they're all positive.
I think we did. And hey, if I could address, there's just a couple of questions that came in
Sure.
about the delivery and about the product. Some people were asking how it was delivered. It is delivered. I mean, as soon as you purchase, you will get access to the course, and you have access to all the modules in one shot. We do send weekly reminders with the different links to the different modules as far as the course should progress, but you do have access immediately to get everything. It is all online, web-based. It's not DVDs or something you have to wait, you know, several days to receive or weeks to receive. You get it immediately. You can watch it. You can download all the audio and the video and watch it offline or whatever. We recently had a customer that has a cabinet they go to on the weekends and they want to watch it. So we said, you know what, let's make these available for them to download and take to their cabin where they don't have internet connection and watch it because they want to go there and learn. So we have all that available, and you get immediate access to it. And the email, the support, someone was asking if it's us. Yes, it is Lewis and I's personal emails. So feel free to shoot us any questions and comments. We don't want to leave you hanging out there. And we're glad to help out. So.
Oh, yeah, thanks
and one
again,
last,
guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one last thing, Mike. There are some questions here. Lewis just pointing out about the bonuses. Several of the bonuses, like the software and some of the other stuff, requires some manual entering of your name and stuff to get you set up. So we get you all set up, and then we'll send you an email within 24 to 48 hours at the most with your information and access to it. So be on the lookout for that.
Sorry, guys, with the feedback. Sometimes I get near that thing. Anyway, I want to add one more thing before we sign off, is that, you know, I always, when I listen to something like this, they say, if these guys are giving away this kind of information on the webinar, I mean, can you imagine what the offer is and what the online training is involved with? I mean, it's amazing. So ask yourself that question, folks. reiwired.com/social, 813-425-5020, and we will answer any questions that you have. So, Lewis, Sean, just unbelievable stuff, and I really appreciate you being on, taking some time out to talk to the folks.
Thanks so much for bringing us on, Mike.
All right, guys. Take care now. We'll talk to you real
too.
soon.
Have a great
Have a great one.